Welcome. Welcome to our very first season of Life on Track. And this is the TV series and the podcast helping you get your life on the track that you were born into this world to be on. So it's about getting into the driver's seat of your own life, personally and professionally. I'm your host, Erin. I'd love to get right into it with my special guest today, Jon Kovach Jr., who I'm so excited to interview you. I've interviewed you in the past. You're fascinating, and you are a very great friend of mine. So excited for this interview. I'm going to read your bio because I don't want to leave anything out. I want the world to know the amazing things that you do. So Jon Kovach Jr. is an award-winning international motivational speaker and global mastermind leader. Jon has helped billion-dollar corporation, Coldwell Banker Commercial, and globally present organizations, outdoor retailer Cotopaxi, Public Relations Student Society of America, and Merchant Solution Services exceed their annual sales goals. In his work as an accountability coach and mastermind facilitator, Jon has helped thousands of professionals overcome their challenges and achieve their goals by implementing his 4 irrefutable laws of high performance. Jon is a founder and chairman of Champions Circle Networking Association. Jon is one of the youngest professionally certified and active mastermind facilitators and leaders in the world. Jon is the featured mastermind facilitator and leader of the Habitude Warrior Mastermind and the Global Speakers Mastermind and Masterclass series. Jon is a 4-time national #1 best-selling author in the historical book series, The 13 Steps to Riches, based on the principles from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Jon stars on over 100 speaking stages each year and was notably featured on Speak Up, an Amazon Prime TV series, as well as various podcasts and live hour shows as host, MC, entertainer, trainer, and keynote speaker. Welcome, Jon Kovach Jr.
It's always fun to listen to people read your bio. It's always interesting, and it's like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh, that's fun. But I love this because people get to know the real you. You know, I put all the amazing accolades on display, but let's talk about the real party. Like this is fun. I
love this.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Erin. I'm just so blessed to be on here, and congratulations on the show. This is phenomenal. The speakers, the caliber of the people you have, absolutely amazing. I am for it. It's amazing.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you're part of the launch. You know, one of the top 10 that I'm launching the show with. You're a blessing. So thank you so much for being here. And Jon, and you know this because I interviewed you in the past also, I love asking the how and why. Like the first question that for years that I ask all my experts, all my speakers, all my guests is, how did you get into doing what you're doing today, and why? I love the purpose behind this.
It's a quick story, and the how I got into what I'm doing today all started and stemmed from my mom, because as a young kid who wanted to just fit in, somebody who wanted to do what the normal kids were doing at school, because our family didn't have much money. My mom would do extracurricular entrepreneurial projects to bring in a little bit of extra cash. And instead of saving that money and paying off debts or whatever, we used the extra cash that my mom would make to afford us, small vacations. Like when all the regular kids were going to Cancun and the West Coast for spring break, we were usually that family stuck at home doing nothing. And my mom wanted us to have adventures. She wanted us to go out and see the world, but also to just have a normal life compared to the area and the people we lived around, because that's what all of our friends did. And we never wanted to be outcasted. So as an entrepreneur, my mom started several businesses in my youth. And at 12 years old, I got into entrepreneurship. We started a vending machine business. And then she inspired me to create a lawn mowing business at age 14. At age 16, I was so into going to school dances and so many other fun parties. And I just didn't appreciate the music that the DJs were playing. So at age 16, I designed and created my own DJing company. And within a few short months, put out several DJs, local DJs, out of business because I was getting all the inside gigs in the high schools and the middle schools and so forth. And at age 18, I got involved in just amazing opportunities, ended up traveling abroad and started some micro financial projects and stuff. And I started learning business more and more. But I'll stem back to the conversation or the story about the DJing business, because while I was solving a problem, while I was trying to just do something that I enjoyed. In the process, I learned that I had a voice. And as a young kid with ADHD, as somebody who could, really excel in athletics, like I literally thought I was going to go to the Olympics at age 16. I thought that was my dream, and that's where I was going for track and field. But I found that while instigating these amazing opportunities and curating an environment for fun, for laughter, for dancing, for music, and all these things, the environment of being an MC behind the DJing box was my gig. Like I loved having that microphone, using my voice to get the wallflowers onto the dance floor, to get their butt shaking and having a good old time. And I realized that I could have a lot of influence if I used my voice more. So at age 16 is when I began to get more into leadership and start developing my voice as a speaker. I joined clubs. I got involved in leadership. I got a scholarship for being one of the class school presidents, or whatever they call those things. I started using my voice. And, fast forward, what was that, age 16? I'm 32 now. So, merely 15 years from later, I've used my voice in a variety of categories, from coaching to speaking on international stages to launching and being on hundreds of podcasts and so much more. And I'm finding that my voice is a powerful place to raise the message and to raise the flag of awareness for some of the principles that I've learned from this book right here, Think and Grow Rich. And so for me, there's your copy. I love it. I love it. So that really is the why and the how. Was one, I found my voice. It was fulfilling. I realized I could do more. And my mom raised me right. I grew up knowing that it's important to serve others. And that is the only way to live. Whether it brings you a lot of money or it makes you, poor for the rest of your life, you will be filled with the wealth that comes from serving others. And that was what I always sought for. Luckily, motivational speaking is a really great gig, and coaching is a very profitable business. And I see the modality in using your voice. And so there's the why and how of what I do and why I do it.
I love it. And I know you well, and I know you love to serve. You're a man of service. And I took away something from and I've heard you tell that story before, but I took away something new in what you just shared with you and your mom. It reminded me that you and your mom, that's like your first mastermind.
I never thought of it that way, Erin.
Right? Really? Like, you working with your mom and doing the business with your mom and really putting your heads together and doing that was your first mastermind. At least that's, it was just a new thing that I just felt in my heart. Oh my God. And then you've also gone on, you have the Champion Circle, the networking organization where, I know that you have gone to other networking events and it was all the same stuff. Like, stand up and say the same thing to the same people all the time. Here's my business card. And you were like, let's make it fun. Like, let's do something different. And let's hear about the Champion Circle. And then I want to get into the mastermind, because that is so your gig.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up and saying it the way you did. That actually, like, now I want to go journal, because I need to write that down, Erin, and I will immediately after the show, because that gets my brain and my wheels turning, because I recognize how early on the mastermind methodologies that I teach, preach, and talk about started to occur in my life. And that's where the transformation began. So, you brought up the Champion Circle Networking Association, and thank you for putting on the screen, is that I've spoken to a lot of conferences. I've been to a lot of business events, and the whole networking industry is phenomenal. It's an amazing place to be. I had a mentor named Judy Robinette who wrote the book, How to Be a Power Connector, the 5, 10, 15 plus rule. And Judy taught me how to be a power connector by strategically managing your relationships. And by using her principles in this book she wrote, I recognize that not only can I build relationships in person, and I'm looking for my phone through this device right here, but through social media, I can manage thousands of relationships that will lead me to a lifetime of friends, family, colleagues, peers, mentors, confidants, and more. And my idea behind networking was it was fun to connect. It was fun to wear suits and ties and to, hang out with really cool people and throw back a few and just enjoy that environment. But what I wanted was activity. I recognized something about networking is that after all the drinks, after all the networking, after all the conversations and the business cards, I didn't build trust with people. I built connection. I built conversations. I built next steps, but I didn't build trust. And I was like, well, how can you build trust with someone? And I immediately answered the question in my head with trust falls. Anyone can do a trust fall. So I started off networking by saying, hi, my name is Jon, catch me. And I'd fall into people. And I'd be like, hi, my name is Jon, catch me. And if people didn't catch me, I would laugh and I'd say, look, I do that because I want to build trust. Will you catch me again? Because I'd obviously hit the floor and it would work. But I thought, you know what is it about the trust fall that made me trust people? And to wrap this up is that it wasn't necessarily the trust fall. It was an engagement in activity, something recreational, whether it was laughter, whether it was, it makes you sweat or it brings up your heart rate a little bit, but just a tiny little bit of fun increases the heart rate and allowed me to build a connection beyond a business card or a follow-up or a Zoom appointment. It allowed me to build trust in the relationship, and it caused me to take the next step. And we used this, we tested this, we put it into market before I ever launched Champion Circle. We ran a small company here in Salt Lake City, a small mastermind group called Amplified Minds. And I tested this theory. We would play first and then we would network. And within a short few 9 months, over $20 million was transacted as a result of people connecting first, building trust, and then networking.
Yeah.
And I realized something. This has got to be the new way to network, is building trust first. It's so simple. I'm looking for my book. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People to a T.
Yeah, Carnegie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'll before I digress, I'll just say that it's really important to build trust first. And that's why I built the Champion Circle Networking Association, which is a growing membership-based networking association. It's a chapter-based organization where we focused on playing first, having fun, building trust, and using those principles to convert into relationships that, one, develop transactions, but two, perpetually serve you and other parties for the rest of your lives. So that was why we created it.
Wow. 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 And you also put a new spin on what I did in the early 80s with diving off a bar. Catch me with friends.
Oh,
my
sisters. I want to stand like that.
Don and William and Catherine. But it does build trust.
Just note, Erin, if you ever jump from a bar, I will catch you.
I'm never doing that again. You're only young ones. Live and learn. But what you said about the networking also reminds me of the mastermind.
Yes.
And that it's great networking in a mastermind. And what you spoke about also was fun. And, the networking in the traditional sense, is not fun, but to do the way you're doing it, the way you're, running it. And with the mastermind that in Habitude Warrior, and it's fun. And you're able to show up when you're having fun, you're able to show up fully as you. Yeah. The professional side, the silly side, the funny side, but it's every side of you and it's embraced. So can you speak into that?
Absolutely. I have a funny saying that there is an introvert in all of us. And the truth is while some networking can be fun, I know there's activities like speed networking and, happy hours and just fun stuff that you can do. And, fun is relative, right? It's all to interpretation. I can be the life of a party any given day, but there's an introvert in everyone, no matter how extroverted or how social you are. And that introvert in you always loves to snuggle up in a blanket, to be in some peace and quiet, maybe some small darkness. Just, we like our alone time as much as we like our being around people time. So speaking into that, yeah. And you can kind of tell from my story and all of these concepts that my life is stacked one principle on another, all leading up to the pinnacle of what I now believe in, teach in, and thrive off of, which is the mastermind methodologies. Because a mastermind, as defined by Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich is a group of people who meet in the spirit of harmony to help each other solve a challenge or to overcome something, to come up with a definite purpose. And that is trust. That is agreement. That is connection. And literally, without jumping up and down or trust falling or jumping off of bar stools, it is how you connect with people at the highest level. And as an accountability coach, I also realized that, I can't change the way people want to do things. I can help people recognize that if they desire things enough, then they can achieve them faster. But the Mastermind methodology is literally at the top of the scale, one of the fastest ways to build connections, the most accelerative way to connect your business to results, and to build a world or even a community of lifelong friendships. And that is the power of a mastermind in a nutshell. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm looking at it. I made some notes about the mastermind because it's so powerful, Jon, which and thank God Eric, put together the Habitude Warrior Mastermind, and he connected us, and then connected us with so many other people. And it's just absolutely amazing. And it accelerates our growth personally and professionally. And Life on Track is all about getting into the driver's seat of your own life, personally and professionally. The mastermind, what a beautiful place to accelerate that growth. I know what happened for me when I joined your mastermind, with you and Eric, the Habitude Warrior Mastermind. Everything grew exponentially. My business, my happiness, my inner peace, you can't put a price tag on that, really. So can you speak into how the mastermind, accelerates, not just obviously for me, but for anybody and everybody that joins it?
Yeah, really quickly. My first mastermind experience began when I decided to leave my corporate job. On stage or on my podcast, I tell a story about how I dropped my pen under my desk. And in that moment of reaching down and grabbing it, I actually said the words. They flew out of my mouth saying, I wish I could hide under my desk all day. And I recognized that I needed to quit my corporate job. I needed to strive for something else. And I found myself in a mastermind group. It just sounded interesting. And I was test driving the waters. And I couldn't afford this. I literally just put in my 2 weeks notice. I was quitting my corporate job and I had no money, but this mastermind cost approximately $500 a month to be in. And I knew I needed to be in the room with other entrepreneurs, other CEOs, other qualified individuals who cared about me as much as I cared about serving them. And by doing so, I did everything I could. I sacrificed. I donated plasma. I drove for Uber. I delivered pizzas. I mowed extra lawns in the middle of winter. I did whatever I had to do to afford this group. And in just a few short months, I think it was after 6 months, I had tripled my income from when I was working at my corporate job. And I started doing things I had never done before. And this started my path down the mastermind methodologies. I started leading groups. I started activating groups. I started doing groups and building groups for other people. Somewhere down the line, I met Eric Swanson, who through the Habitude Warrior community, we launched his mastermind group, the Habitude Warrior Mastermind Group, implementing that fun back and forth banter, the amazing activities, the trusting environment. And it allowed a lot of people in our mastermind to go through the similar experience that I went through. And by the way, it was at a fraction of the cost, even though our mastermind is at a value of $20,000 a year. We are able to bring in qualified individuals who work in this environment to overcome their challenges on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. They're accountable to their results, and they focus on serving one another so that they in turn receive just as much, if not exponentially more than they grab. And it baffles me, Erin, because I know we're short on time, but it literally is the equation to success.
Yes. And the mastermind is based on Napoleon Hill's principles. That's what
literally a Think and Grow Rich mastermind.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then I want to go to now the Think and Grow, the 13 Steps to Riches that you and Eric are with Habitude Warrior. What an amazing series. What an amazing series. So, I mean, it just is in line. It's like, Jon, everything you do, it's like divine order.
Yeah.
Divine timing. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's stacking, and it's amazing. So then with the mastermind, you know, based on Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, come on. I mean, it's a classic since 1937. I read it in the 90s. And I mean, changed my life, not just with financials, but health. Like you can apply these principles to anything: health, wealth, family, relationships, spirituality, anything. So then going from the mastermind to then the 13 steps to riches, again, based on Napoleon Hill's 13 principles in Think and Grow Rich. Can you speak into these, which I love being a part of this series? Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. And I won't take any credit because the idea was conceived by Eric, Mr. Awesome.
Brilliant.
Years ago. He thought this would be a really fun idea to author or co-author with major celebrities and amazing human beings, the ideas and the principles to riches from Napoleon Hill. However, I wanted to throw in there that this is kind of fun, Erin. You'll see my evolution. What is the next step in the process? We kind of seem to be going in a reciprocal fashion here, which is that, and I said reciprocal, I meant cyclical, in more of a cycle, but I found my voice by solving a problem. The mastermind solves problems. All of a sudden, those people found their voice. And what's the next step for professionals, for business owners, for people? It's to author, to write their thoughts, and to do so by aligning themselves with the personal development structure that Napoleon Hill or Think and Grow Rich or anyone in that realm of thinking has provided. And so my evolution and I guess the God's hand in everything that I've done is building upon one another. Next step. I am terrified but excited for the future because I don't know what the next step is other than what we're doing now. And the 13 Steps to Riches book project has been a phenomenal experience as quarterbacking the back end of this. Yeah. And we're now 4 volumes, going on 5, going on 6, going on 13 soon. This has been a phenomenal experience for me as we've evolved this process and created the opportunities for so many people. We're going to be launching other book series too, but it's been an amazing trip. I love that you have all 3 books readily available. But yeah, just speaking into that is that the next step is once you are inspired, once you are taking action and your mastermind has done that for you, the next logical but yet inspirational step is you find your voice and you use that for good. And we do that through either authoring, motivational speaking, getting on stage, training, workshops, and much, much more. And that's what Eric and I are partnered with. That's what we've been doing. That's a lot of what our businesses are surrounding, is giving people the opportunity to find their voice. And once they find it, what to do with that voice. And we create that scenario for them by sharing with them how they can improve and include them that part of the process in their dreams. And that's what we're finding.
And that's a huge part of having your life on track. When you find your voice and you use it, you know, you don't just think about the things, you know, you use it and you take action on what it is that you're thinking and speaking. And, you know, you're just so brilliant. You're so good, Jon. You're so good. And the time goes by so fast.
Can we talk about that though for a second? Because I mean, again, life on track. There is a divine track for all of us, and it is important that we follow our intuitions. Some people will say, follow your gut. And I'm like, I don't have a gut. I'm an athlete. No, I'm just kidding. But follow your intuition. Totally. You are intuitive. The human brain, the body was created to follow the feelings, the influences, and even the promptings that lead you down those paths. Yeah. There's so much more to life than you know. It is bigger and greater than we can ever comprehend. But given that as an invitation that there is a track for success, there is a formula, there is an equation. It's simple. It's not easy. It is simple. And as you follow your track, you will be back on track or always on track to achieve your greatness. And that is something, Erin, that I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for your your show. I'm grateful for the concept, and I'm grateful that you're perpetuating this mission, because the more people know that there is a life to have on track, the more that they will succeed. I just wanted to make sure that I hit that one home.
Thank you. Thank you, Jon. And it's about getting out of the fear, lack, and scarcity, getting out of the worry and concern, the overwhelm and the distraction, getting out of all of that and getting into, like the enthusiasm, the optimism, the love, the peace, the joy. And it's a choice we have all day, every day. It's a choice, I love you and I love spending time with you, and it's going by so fast. And I know that you have a free gift for the audience. So
absolutely. And as we mentioned, the opportunity to find your voice comes from being in the experience, in the hot seat, in the opportunity chair, as we call it, to sit in a mastermind. So my number one free offer, and you'll probably see this or you've seen this before, is literally get into the chair for success by sitting in one of our mastermind groups. We call it a ride-along guest pass. So I'm giving away free ride-along guest pass to the listeners and to the participants of this show. That will allow you an opportunity to connect with the Habitude Warrior team. They'll get you scheduled, put you in a mastermind, and you can sit in the room and bask in the greatness. So that's the first giveaway I wanted to share. I think we have another giveaway we wanted to give away.
Yes, you do.
I just like giving. You get a car, you get a home, you get a boat. I'm going to keep the airplane though. The next one is, I have a PDF that I think is very helpful for people. I'm a book connoisseur. I read so many books. I try to read the CEO limit each year, which is 60 books average a year. I'm usually on Audible most of the time, and I'm reading and supplementing it. But amongst my books, I have developed what I call the Mastermind Library, and 4 core books that I find essential to the growth of building trust, relationships, and getting or utilizing your mastermind time efficiently and effectively comes from 4 core curriculums that I follow. It's actually part of our curriculum at the Champion Circle, and I'll give you a free download for the Core 4 Mastermind Library, which has my annotated notes and conversations and worksheets for you to find your voice through the mastermind process and taking your business, your life, your personal development to the next level. So that's just a free thing I'll give away.
That is so generous. And I know that you also, I'm going to have you back on eventually also to speak about your 4 irrefutable laws of high performance, which is so cool. That's for another show. You are so great. You are so amazing, Jon. Is there anything left on your head or your heart that you didn't share that you'd like to?
The only thing I'd like to just hit home is, again, there is wealth and prosperity in passion and interest. But the real reason, the whole sole mission and focus why we do what we do, and it will benefit us monetarily, but it will also benefit us in our souls and in our personal validation and fulfillment. And I just want to say, we do this because we serve you. We believe, as Zig Ziglar said, that you can have anything in this world if you help enough people get what they want. In return, you too shall receive it. So I believe in that. That is my mission. That is my motto. And I'm going to take that mastermind method and message to every corner of the earth, because that is truly how we serve one another, is by building trust and allowing other people to serve one another in the spirit of harmony. I'm Jon Kovach Jr., motivational speaker, mastermind leader, and thank you, Erin Lay, so much for allowing me to share this message and to serve as many people as we can reach.
Thank you. You're amazing. You're amazing. And you're a significant part of this Life on Track TV series. So thank you. You're a blessing. You're absolutely amazing. All right. So everybody watching will be able to see this episode also on all the online streaming TV programs like Apple TV and Amazon Prime and Roku, and then podcasts also like Spotify and all of that. And then on my social media and lifeontrack.tv. So you'll be able to see Jon Kovach Jr. on all of those media outlets. And it's just such a blessing and a pleasure to have you, Jon. So, all right, everybody, stay tuned each Monday as my guests and I bring you more information and insight on how you can get your life and your business on track. Have a magnificent day, everyone. And always remember to live onward and upward. Love you.